Hey everybody, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. Tonight is our regularly scheduled Friday night, 7 p.m. medically assisted recovery anonymous meeting. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you guys can make it tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by reading um, the MARA preamble, and as you guys filter in, you'll hear what is going on. So here we go. Medication assisted recovery anonymous. One size does not fit all. Do you use medications such as methadone, Suboxone, disulfiram, antabuse, Campril, Paxil, Provigil, Norepinephrine, bupropion, Phantrex, Sabril, Chemstrol, Topamax, etc., that is prescribed and approved by the medical community to treat various drug and alcohol use disorders. Many addicts and alcoholics that are utilizing evidence-based science to aid in their recovery sometimes feel unwelcome. Here at Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous, aka MARA, you are always welcome. Recovery is simply to recover from an unsafe lifestyle. We of Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous believe that medication is a therapeutic tool of recovery that may or may not be discontinued in time, dependent upon the needs of the individual. So, a I hope that you guys um, so that is Mara. So welcome you guys. Welcome to our Friday night Mara meeting. My name is Nicole and I'm an addict. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. And tonight I thought what we could talk about, because when we were interacting with each other throughout the week, I was having a lot of people who are either in relationships with someone who is in recovery, also in relationships with someone who is still using, or you are struggling in your relationships and friendships due to codependency. And so, what I was thinking that we could talk about tonight is just how you guys cope, how you've learned to deal with, you know, relationships in your sobriety today. If you're in a relationship with someone who is also in recovery, how did you guys, get to that point where you understand each other and, you know, there's just how do you speak to them? How do you communicate? So let's read a little bit about codependency and then we can start sharing. And you guys can call in tonight. I got the number down there at the bottom. So, like I said, feel free to call in and talk and share. Hey, Amy. Oh, girl, it's okay. Just breathe. Hey, Leroy. Hey, Avalon. I'm glad you're here too. Hey, Missa. So let's read. What is codependency? Okay. Codependency, excessive emotional or psychological reliance on a partner, typically one who requires support on account of an illness or an addiction. Okay. So, you know me, how do I stop being codependent? So, some healthy steps to healing your relationships from codependency include: number 1, start being honest with yourself and your partner. So let's stop right there and let's talk about that. Let's talk about honesty and communication in a relationship. So, Amy, what's up, Cindy? I'm glad that you came in. I'm glad that you're sharing what you're going through, because here's the thing. The first step right here, it's telling us, is that we need to be honest and that we need to communicate with our partner about how we're feeling. So if you are feeling uncomfortable about your partner going out and getting alcohol, hey, Julie, hey, Cindy, then you need to voice your concerns to him. You need to say, hey, I love you. I care about you. And, you going out and getting drunk or buying alcohol, it really, first of all, it triggers me in my addiction. Secondly, you know, I don't want to be around that kind of stuff anymore. And I'm trying to do better. You know, okay, so I've had experience where when me and Neil were first trying to get sober, we tried to get sober for about 3 years, okay? 2 days ago, he said, tonight it's been a long day. So tonight he's not going to. Well, that's good. That's good. Well, but you need to talk to him, Amy. Don't let him. Okay, good. You said you did. Good. Don't just hold your tongue, because I think what happens for a lot of us in relationships is we will not say anything to avoid an argument or to avoid conflict. And when you're avoiding talking about things that are important, then nothing is going to get solved. I learned this the hard way because I did the same exact thing. So let's rewind to about 7 years ago, before me and Neil got sober, before Nathaniel was born. So this is about the peak of me. Me and Neil were in our addiction pretty heavy, Oh, that's the excuse for today. And don't you know, we always have to have an excuse. I, I Girl, sometimes I would just drink or get high just because I had a great day that day, It didn't matter. It's just an excuse. So about 7 years ago, before me and Neil got sober, a lot of the times, you guys, it would be like this. One of us would want to get sober and the other one would not be ready. And so I would be trying and he wouldn't be trying. And then I would end up caving in because he would be using and I would use with him. It wasn't ever his fault. Like, I can't blame it on him that I would get high because, I mean, that's what I wanted to do, But, hey, Megan, they always tell you that when you're first getting sober to just kind of like focus on your own self and not be in a relationship because it's hard enough to stay sober on your own. Imagine trying to stay sober with someone else in the mix. It's not easy. And also for me and Neil, we would feed off of each other. So let's say he came in and he had a bad day that day. All right. Oh, babe, I had such a bad day today. And then I would go, oh, you did? Okay, so I've been sitting at home all day long, biting my nails, white knuckling it, barely hanging on for a thread, right? To my sobriety. And here comes Neil through the door. Today sucked. And I'm like, let's go get high. You know what I mean? Like, that would always be how it went down, or vice versa. And we would just use each other's situations or as an excuse or co-sign each other's bad behaviors. And God, forever and ever. Megan, weren't you and your husband both, your husband's in recovery too, huh? So a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys have been there. Amy says it sucks because I can see what's happening and I'm trying to help stop it from getting worse. But we also have therapy now. That's really good. And I'm so glad that you guys have therapy. Yeah, because in therapy, you can sit down and you have somebody that can be in the middle of you guys and kind of be a mediator. Okay, Megan, yeah. And it's like, it can be done. You can get sober. You and your partner can get sober and you don't ever have to go back. What makes it so difficult is that you're two different people, right? And so when I first got sober, I was always trying to lump me and Neil as the same person. And I've always tried to make him do what I was doing in my recovery. And that was one of the hardest things that I had to learn, was that what I was doing to stay sober might not be what Neil needed to do to stay sober. But for the longest time, I had this like control issue with needing to feel like I was always pushing him to do what I was doing. Oh, well, you need to do Mara meetings. You need to come on my YouTube channel and tell your story. You need to do this. You need to do that. And it wasn't what he needed to do. He's found what works for him and he's utilizing that support, but it's really difficult because when you have two people who are in active addiction for so long together, you have a lot of really bad habits that you have learned doing together. Megan says, yes, his program is totally different than mine. So yeah, Neil is the same way. He is exactly the opposite of me. Okay. I am very open and very outgoing and very talkative when it comes to my recovery. I'm very proud to be sober. I'm very proud to be an addict, you guys. I'm proud to be a recovering addict. My husband is the direct opposite. He would rather keep it to himself, not tell anybody. Um, and I understand why, because he is in the business world. And in the business world, it's not like, oh, you're an addict. That's great. You can help everybody here at the job. It's looked down upon. In my situation, I'm so blessed, you guys, because I have an amazing employer who understands me and knows my heart and knows that, like, they know about my YouTube channel. Okay. Hey Daniel. Yeah, they know about my YouTube channel, so they gotta be cool. I can relate so deep to all sides. And so the only thing I know how to share with you guys is my personal experience going through recovery with my husband. It has been such a freaking journey. In fact, a mission. It has been a hike. It has been like climbing up a damn mountain. Because at the beginning, hey Landon, at the beginning of our recovery, I was so obsessed with trying to force my way of recovery on my husband. Deidre says, my husband has never used and it's hard for him to understand why I'm still taking methadone. Okay, that is a really, really good point, Deidre, to bring up. That's the other side of the coin, like having somebody in your life who doesn't understand. You know, the way I explain it to parents who I talk to, because a lot of times I'll have people who their parents will call and they'll want to talk to me about hold on, about methadone or Suboxone because they're still on the medication and their parents may not understand. So a lot of time I get to sit down and talk to some parents, right? Or talk to them on the phone. And I always try to explain explain it to them like this. Methadone and Suboxone are like medications that help you to maintain your recovery. Just like a person who has high blood pressure has to take insulin to maintain, or high blood sugar, just like a person who has that high blood sugar has to take insulin to maintain their blood sugar levels. Someone who has substance abuse disorder with opiates has to use Suboxone or methadone. Not always, but a lot of us do use it, and it helps us to maintain our sobriety. And I also make sure that I explain to those parents that, when a person is on these medications, they're not getting high from their medication, especially if they take their medication every day as it's prescribed. He used to drink a lot, but then he stopped, but not by choice. It was more for the other people. Now his dog of 15 years passed, and we are struggling because of his little affair. Hey, Amy, about the dog. Ugh, yeah, that sucks. I was talking to somebody. Who was it I was talking? I was talking to a subscriber that reached out to me yesterday, and they had been sober for like 2 years, but they lost somebody that was really close to them, and they ended up relapsing. And death and grieving is so, so difficult because so many people deal with grief in different ways. Like, I, no two people are going to grieve the same way. I've been clean since 2011 and still on methadone. He thinks I should be able to just stop taking it. Deidre, anytime you want me to talk to your husband, I'll sit down and talk to him on the phone, girl. You just give me a call and we can have a three-way conversation, and we can sit there and I'll explain it to him if that helps. It's just like mental health medications, you guys. You can't just stop taking Lexapro or Wellbutrin or Paxil. Like, these are medications that you have to taper off of, Um, yes, Landon, you took the words right out of my mouth. Cindy says, I hear you, Deidre. My mom doesn't understand why I've been on Suboxone for 15 years. And Cindy, like, when me and Cindy get together this next summer, I'm going to have a conversation with her mom. I think sometimes it just helps to have somebody that can talk to your family member that's not you. Because a lot of the times I think our family members think we're just making up excuses, right? Because what have we always done? In our active addiction, we always made excuses. So when we have someone else that can talk to them that has no connection to them or us, it can help. And so Amy, you guys can both talk and connect on that, in that area that you're both grieving, and support each other and love each other and hold each other up, you know? Okay, let's read some more. Some healthy steps to healing your relationship from codependency. So, step one was be honest with your partner and yourself. Step two, stop negative thinking. Stop negative thinking. Did y'all hear that? So, I was watching a Wes Watson video this morning. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot get enough of that fool. He starts yelling, and I'm just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was talking about, okay, so when he was locked up in prison, they would get up every morning and they would like train really hard and like do sit-ups and burpees and work out. But it wasn't because they were doing it because they were like trying to become the buffest guy in the prison. It was for discipline, right? And so I was listening to him talk about discipline. Then I was also listening to him talk about attracting what you, okay, so if you want somebody who is smart, who is works hard, who is loyal, who is reliable, who is dependable, guess what? You have to be that same person. So I'm not going to attract somebody that I'm not. So if I'm not loyal, if I'm not dependable, I'm going to attract somebody that's not loyal. Okay, so if I am, let's say I'm always focusing on drama and I'm just gossiping and I'm full of chaos, guess what? I'm going to attract all those kind of people to me. So whenever I was looking for somebody that I would, a husband, right? I wasn't, let's say, let me rephrase that. I wasn't actually looking for a husband. He kind of just fell in my little palms and I was like, hi, little husband, I love you. But anyway, I knew I wanted a husband who was going to treat me like I've never been treated, like a lady, right? But in order for me to find somebody that was going to treat me with the respect that I knew I deserved, I had to also carry myself with the respect. And I also had to treat that person with the same respect that I wanted to get back, you know? No negative thinking. Just did my videos this morning on being positive. Really? That's what's up. We're actually talking about codependency in relationships, but these are some of the things that will help you to heal that codependency. I also believe that, so one thing that me and Neil do, like when we're off together, is in the morning times I kind of put on somebody that is like a motivational speaker or someone that's speaking, about manifesting, good things in your life. Remember what I always talk to you guys about gratitude and about how you can, if you wake up with an attitude of gratitude, it'll change your life. Hey, Great Dane. Just wish watching Josh's video to come here. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here, baby. Switching your outlook on life and having a different, just the way you think about things and focusing on, hey, you know what? Instead of being like, so today I was at work and I was like, damn, I'm broke. And you know what this girl said? She said, you might not have a lot of money, but at least you have a roof over your head. And I thought, she is sure right. At least I have a roof over my head. There's people out there that ain't got nowhere to live, nothing to eat. That's real talk right there, and sometimes I have to take things to that minimal, to that little of a situation and break it down to, you know what? I have a roof over my head today, you guys. There was a time when I didn't have that, and I know you guys can relate. Hey, Felicia, it's okay, girl. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Okay. Number 3, don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. So the only thing I can do is share from my experience, right? So when me and Neil first got sober, we kind of needed space from each other. Not like we slept in the same bed and stuff like that. But what I mean is like we were learning about ourselves. We were learning who we are sober, because I didn't know who I was, you guys. I had never been, the longest I think I had been sober before I met my husband was 9 months. And that was right when I got out of prison. So it's such a learning curve to learn how to be sober and in a relationship. Now, we're all adults, and so I'm going to talk about this. When I first got sober, me and my husband, I felt like I was so worried that he wasn't going to love me anymore because I wasn't high anymore. Because when I was high, I was wild and I was crazy. I was one of them girls that was like, you know what I'm saying, strip teasing and all that stuff, just craziness, crazy high stuff. And so when I got sober, I thought, he's not going to love me anymore, or I'm not going to be able to, do the same things I do like I was when I was high. A lot changed about me. I settled down. I got a lot more calm. Um, and I was so afraid. That was my main fear. My main fear was that my husband would fall out of love with me. And I know other people go through this same thing because when I was in when I would go to meetings, other ladies and other men would share about it. I was wondering, so when you were in prison and you say clean coming out, have you had haters about that? Because some say you didn't choose sobriety, that you were forced because of your situation. Okay, so let me tell you, I didn't count my sobriety time in prison because when I was in prison, I was getting high on hydrocodones. So I was in a minimum security prison, and so every Saturday we were allowed to have visitors. Every Saturday, my mom and dad would come, and my sister, and then my friend her name was Rhonda. She lived in, we just got into the same unit, so our beds were like, her bed was right here, then there was a girl in between us, and there was a bed right here. Rhonda's grandma and mom would come, and they would sneak hydros into her, and then she would sneak these hydros. Y'all know how you do it. She would sneak the hydros in, and then when we would get back to our unit, she would go into the bathroom stall. I would stand watch. She would pull them out, get them out of the Ziploc bag, and then she would give me half, and she would get half. So I would take like 3 or 4 of those, um, the hydrocodone 10 milligram Norcos. And so I wasn't sober the last like 6 months of my year in prison because I was using hydros. So when I got out of prison, I paroled out to a halfway house here in Little Rock called Williamsburg. And when I got to Williamsburg, first of all, I had to pee to get in clean. So I was clean when I got in, but I had to start all over. So I started my sobriety time from the time I got out of prison and into Williamsburg, and that's how long I stayed sober from the time I got out of prison till 9 months later, and then I relapsed. And so I did, like I said, I only stayed sober like the little bit of the first time in prison. And I could have been using the whole time, but I didn't have the hookup. But when I met Rhonda, me and her started conspiring together. And when I found out that she had them hydros, honey, I wasn't passing that shit up. I mean, damn, I wanted to get high. And we were in prison. And then after I would eat those hydros, y'all, I would be so scared because they could pop us with a random drug screen anytime they wanted. And so I would eat all my hydros, and then for the next like week, I'd be sweating, thinking they were gonna piss test me. But I never got piss tested. But it was crazy. My husband used to say the same thing to me. He was always worried that when I got sober, I'd leave him until he got sober. Then he realized that it's meant to be. It will be. Yes. And it wasn't until me and Neil had been together for like the first year of our sobriety. After that first year passed by, I realized that we were stuck with each other. I asked because I had major surgery and was on pain meds and Xanax for 3 months. So I have people hating on me. Girl, I have people hating on me all the time because I'm on Suboxone. So I totally understand. And what I learned, here's the thing, you guys, I've learned that you cannot listen to what other people say about your sobriety. And by the way, if any of you want to call in, I got the phone on, so just so you know. Um, you cannot let other people judge you. You cannot let it affect you, okay? you know that saying, I think it says, you don't mind, I don't mind, and you don't matter, right? It's like, if those people are not directly connected to you and they're not in your life, what they have to say, who gives a damn? And you know what? If somebody that is directly connected to you in your life that is judging you, sometimes we just need to get rid of toxic people in our lives, you guys. Okay, so Avalon says, Bernie asked me to be clean, made me be clean a year before he would date me. So Avalon had to stay clean for a year before Bernie would give her a chance. Now, just so you guys know, backstory on Avalon and Bernie. Bernie and Avalon. Tell them where you met Bernie, Avalon. I'll let you do it. Or do you want to wait until you come on my channel and tell the story then? Bernie and Avalon are kind of scandalous, y'all. But that's a good story. You should save that story for on your channel, or you could come on and share it here. Let's just say that Bernie had authority and she got him. My spouse took the route of saying you are getting shots of opiates every 4 hours, so he went and got a street addiction. And that's, you know what? Because he was jealous, because he wanted to be getting high too. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Okay, good. Sorry guys, we're going to have to keep that a secret until Avalon comes on. It's a really good story though, Avalon. That's why I say that. So don't take things personally. Okay, so number 4, take breaks and consider counseling. So so how many of you guys have gotten into counseling? And if you're in a relationship with someone else, in your recovery, let's say they're not even an addict, would they be willing to do therapy with you? So me and Neil went to therapy one time, y'all, together, at an outside therapist, one that's not involved with our Suboxone clinic, right? It was actually one of his dad's therapists, and he said he would see us together. And it was so weird because me and Neil were sitting there and we had so much resentment built up between the two of us, right? Because when we were in our active addiction, I did some things that really made my husband upset. And then he did some things that really made me upset. And so it was just a constant like, well, you did this and you did that and you did this and you did that, I look at my long comment a little ways up. Oh, hold on, Landon. Just wanted to stop and say, hey, love you too, Avalon. Yes, seriously, you save that for next time you come on. Hold on, Landon, I'm going up. Of course, Landon has to leave me a long comment for me to see. I don't see it, Landon. Text it to, or send it to me on Instagram, Landon. Hey, Angel. It's okay, girl. Angel's got her little boy back, you guys. And I was proud that after I had no desire, but he made me feel like a loser to make himself not look as bad. It is still a torn inside of our relationship. And a thorn, listen to me. We did the same thing. Me and Neil did the same thing, Missa. And we have honestly healed from all of that. Okay. And the only thing I can tell you is that as I've grown in my recovery, I've realized the mistakes that I made and I've taken full responsibility for them. And Neil has realized the mistakes that he made, and we have come together and forgiven each other for those things. When we were in active addiction, it's stuff that just stupid stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like now that's that stuff is so far behind us, and I'm so thankful and grateful. I don't even honestly, I just chop it up till we was high. I mean, there was times I would go behind his back and like steal dope out of his sack and like not tell him I took it and then be getting high in the bathroom by myself. Just crazy stuff. Will you, or have you already done before I joined, do a husband tag with Mr. Neil? That's a really good idea, Great Dane. I have never done that before, Landon. Because I see a free psychiatrist prescribes my meds besides stuff I had to go through motions to get app, and now I have someone to talk to at my house once a week. That is awesome, Landon. I'm so proud of you. Oh, y'all know how I am. I don't stay on task very well. I'm so proud of you for getting into counseling. Hey, Great Dane, you know what? If I can get Neil to do it with me, we'll do it together. Okay, I can tell you guys this much. that in December, I'm going to have my two sisters on and my mom and my dad, so you guys will get to meet them. I like the facial idea to make him, yes, yes. Hey, Bethany, what's up, girl? I'm glad you're here, baby. Okay. So rely on peer support and establish boundaries. Rely on peer support and establish boundaries. So I think one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do, you guys, was establish healthy boundaries. And I'm still struggling with respecting other people's boundaries. And it's not because I'm just a disrespectful ass bitch. It's because sometimes it's almost like I can't recognize some social cues online. Now, in relationships, hey Misty, in relationships that I have one-on-one, that I have in real life, that girls and guys that I talk to every single day in my real life, and then really close friends of mine that I have that I talk to every day, like that I have no problems with that. But it's like these relationships that I make that are kind of um surface level acquaintances, you know, I have a hard time deciphering whether or not these relationships are like real friendships or whether just acquaintances or whether, do you know what I'm saying? How do you get that? Is there a short version you can relay? Hey, Landon, how did you get the free therapy? Can you share? Is there a link that you have for that everybody can find it? Or is it something that's just available in your state? So let me tell you guys this. One of my subscribers commented, her name is Nico, and she was saying that in New Jersey, you can dial hashtag or pound sign 211, and they will help you get free treatment and free resources for therapy and addiction treatment. So I I don't know if we have that here where I live. I guess I should try to see if we do, shouldn't I? I can bond quick, but only allow the friend term for people I've known for a long time. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've realized that I think I jump into things a little bit too quickly with people. But I'm learning. I'm learning, you know. Setting boundaries with my husband has been kind of like, and what I mean by that is we both have to have our own time. Like I need to have my Nicole time, and he has to have his Neil time. You know, it used to be, let me explain to you guys how extremely codependent our relationship is. Well, it used to be. It's kind of gradually shifting into this more, we're two independent people that have come together. Do you know what I'm saying? But it used to be extremely codependent. I couldn't leave the house without having Neil with me. I didn't want to drive myself anywhere. I didn't want to drive. I mean, I couldn't drive myself anywhere. When I would drive without him, I would be afraid. Um, it and it wasn't because like I didn't want to do these things. I don't know how to explain it any other way, is that he was just connected to me, and I had gotten so comfortable with only him and having him with me everywhere and getting high with him 24/7 that it was just like I didn't know how to do anything without him. One of the best things I ever did when I got sober was to start going to women's meetings where I couldn't take him with me because he's not a woman. And then another thing that really helped me was getting a job and going into my job because I have to do that without him. But when me and Neil first got together, you guys, he was with me 24/7, 7 days a week. I mean, when I wasn't with him, I was in pain. I was crying. I felt alone. When he would go to work, I would be so lonely without him, you know, and I didn't know how to live my life without him. Now, and when I was in that, right, when I was in the middle of that, I didn't realize that that was happening. But when I look back on it now, I realized how it was like we breathed at the same time. If Neil was breathing, I was breathing. We were in unison. It was like we were one person, but two different people. You know what I'm saying? People change and grow, and you have to be willing to learn to love each person they become. That's the way I feel about my boyfriend. Same though, Nicole. I feel you. I had to have 10 of them, but I would take them. It never worked. Oh, sorry, on my nose. It's like a real in real life imaginary friend. And what it did was it being being codependent. There's no overly. There's just straight up codependent like that. I was losing my own identity. And another thing that has helped me to find me is my channel, because this is when I get to come here and I get to be me. I get to come here and I get to do something that I'm passionate about, something that I enjoy doing, something that I feel good about, you know? And when you're in a codependent relationship, you don't have anything like that. You're not able to separate what you're doing from the other person. Everything has to be together. Do you know what I'm saying? I just feel safe with him, and I don't feel safe when I'm not with him. Angel, I totally understand what you're saying. And I used to say that same thing, but it was more than that for me. It wasn't just about me feeling safe, it was that I didn't feel like I could do anything without him. I could not detach from him and live. I couldn't do anything without him. Oh, girl, you got to set an age limit for all your videos, or YouTube is coming after you. I got to check out and head to a men's Bible study, but I'm really looking forward to sharing my testimony with y'all this Monday. Yes, you guys, Daniel, I'm excited about it too. I cannot wait. I'm going to text you some of the questions that I was going to ask. So that way you can look over them and kind of like, be ready. But I was going to ask you some questions that I thought would be good for that interview, because I'm trying to get better about my interviews. But I'm excited too. And I know that some of the guys, Caleb in particular, asked about if you were going to come on and tell your story. So I know he's excited to hear it. Yeah, I already did that, Miss. I already marked it not made for kids. Bye, Daniel. Have a good meeting. Thank you, Great Dane. Great Dane's on it. I really appreciate you too, Great Dane. I love how you go in there, and it helps me out a lot. So, okay, what was I talking about? Okay, so Angel, back to the codependency. There's a difference between like feeling safe with someone in your relationship, right? What about the kid drug addicts? Exactly, Bethany. Well, you know what they're doing now on YouTube. So I guess I'll go ahead and update you guys. What they're doing now on YouTube, y'all, is they are making it to where if you don't if you don't mark your videos as not made for kids, then and they accidentally get recommended to kids, and they're not, like, then you can get your channel taken away. But what I went and did was I set my whole channel for not made for kids. So my whole channel is not made for kids, but it's not age restricted. It's just not made for kids. Do you understand what I'm saying? So as long as I'm following the community guidelines and I'm not having my son in my videos, I should be fine. Yeah, me too. So let's get this straight, okay? Because I don't want there to be any confusion. For codependency is like when you cannot, and when I say cannot, it's when, okay, so it's when, like I was saying before, you start losing yourself and you're basically becoming one person because you're not doing anything on your own. And eventually, at least in my experience, what that leads to is either one person just being resentful and wanting to disconnect from the other person, or the other person being annoyed and wanting to get away from and vice versa. So for me, like I said, one of the best things that ever happened to me and my husband was us getting sober, because it forced us. it forced us to step out and actually start living for our and doing things on our own. Like he went out and he got a job, and now he works his job, and that job gives him confidence, and he knows that he's taking care of his family. And I have a job, and I take care of my son and the house, and I know that I'm taking care of my business. And in doing those things, it helps build up our self-esteem and our self-confidence. You know what I'm saying? But together, we were just so connected at all times. I didn't feel like I could do anything without him, and it wasn't his fault. It was on me. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that he could go out and have a fine life without me. But I am extremely codependent in all relationships, not just with my husband. In my friendships, you guys, me and my husband were the same. If there was one, there was the other. Now that we learned to be apart, I really do enjoy my me time. Me too, girl. Me too. And that is what I'm talking about. Like, it's helped me to start learning about myself. And I've actually like realized that I have this huge passion. And the thing that was the most amazing, and I loved hearing it from my husband, is that he sees my passion for helping others and recovery. And he even complimented me on it and said that he wishes he could have passion like that about his recovery. And that but the passion that he does feel is for our son and raising our son. And so I love my son. I don't even compare that to my recovery passion. That's just on a whole nother level. But you know what I'm saying? It was such a good feeling to hear him say that, because it is so important to me. Um, and I just love it. I love helping other people. I could do this for the rest of my life and just be absolutely, it's that, just so happy. Yay, Great Dane, you did it. Great Dane's on it, man. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. What's up, Zabe? You want to call in and talk to me, bud? I got the phone line on. So, we're just talking about codependency and relationships, you guys. And so, I know it can get a little heavy sometimes when I'm sharing, and I don't I just I want to learn more about empaths. But I have to tell you guys, like the feelings that I have inside, they're so strong that they just come out of my eyes and tears start just. So, yes, Angel, and it was so awesome because like it made me feel like I'm doing the right thing, and it's because I am proud. Like I said to you guys, I'm really proud to be sober today, and I've never ever in my life since I started using drugs at 17 been sober for this long and been happy. There's times where I got sober for like 6 months or 9 months, but I was miserable. What's up, Caleb? We was just talking about you. I was just telling Daniel, he's coming on Monday to tell his story, that you were asking about him the other day. Oh, it's okay. You don't have to call if you don't want to. Don't worry about it. But if any of you guys want to call in, I got my phone right here. So we're just talking about relationships and recovery. We're talking about codependency. We're talking about if you're in a relationship with someone else who is also in recovery, if you are in a relationship with somebody and you're sober and they're not sober. One of the hardest things for me to do whenever I was like trying to get my life together, I was in treatment, y'all, and Neil was out here in the real world, right? So I'm in treatment, locked down, can't, they done caught me trying to get high in the treatment center. So I know a lot of you guys don't know that story. So whenever I went to rehab, is that the guy that had trouble getting custody of his? Yeah, and now it's the guy who works to help guys. Yes, that guy. Yes. Daniel. Yes, the one who called in that one night that we had the meeting. It's okay. I don't like being emotional, but yep, it's a part of. Yeah, you know what, Zabe? It just I used to be really afraid to show my vulnerability and emotion. And as I worked with my sponsor and as I started learning and just sharing my story, I realized that I connect with people through my emotions. And I love sharing with you guys. And a lot of you guys found me because of my video on Josh's channel. And I know that a lot of you guys came over here because of the fact that I got on there and I just shared, you know what I mean? I just shared and I was just transparent, you know? Man, Great Dane, I'm telling you what, sometimes I feel embarrassed because I do that so much. And I feel like people, I don't know, because there's so many people on YouTube, you guys, who are negative, right? And they want to say that I'm dishonest or I'm disingenuous, and that's the biggest insult I've ever had in my life because it's the biggest like lie. It's not true, you know? And I wish that sometimes I wish that I could go and tell a story about my son and about having him taken from me and not cry. But I can't because every time I talk about it, I feel it like it just happened. Every time I think about what it was like when I was in my active addiction and what I did to myself and how I hurt my body and how I hurt my family, I relive that shit and I feel it. You know, every time I share with you guys about how I feel, you know, about my life or what I'm going through, I feel it so much. And so I want to learn more about empaths because so many people will say, you know, you're an empath, you're an empath. And I'm like, what? So let's see what it says. Empath. A person with the paranormal ability to apprehend the mental or emotional state of another individual. Empaths are truly gifted people in many ways. It is a rare gift which makes them what they are, empaths. They sense the feelings of others as their own, which makes them great listeners and trouble solvers. Empaths have one rare trait that makes them even more powerful. These people are experts in human psychology. He was just so damn hard-headed before. Angel, I totally understand, girl. So tell me this, how many of you guys are in relationships with someone who is in recovery also? If you are in a relationship with someone who is also in recovery, put a 1 in the chat. We're picking a giveaway winner tonight, y'all. Hold on. Holy shitsies, I forgot. Dang it. Did y'all know we had a giveaway going on? Okay. 1, 1. Wow, David, 1, 1. Bethany, why listen to people who don't matter? You're a Christian. Jesus was persecuted to death, and look at the good he did. You're right, Great Dane. Great Dane, can I ask you a question? I know you're a man, right? What do you look like? I really want to know. I want to know, Great Dane. What's up, David? Okay, let me go through and write down y'all's names, and then we're going to let Nate pick the names out of a hat, so that way it'll be fair. Okay, guys? You're right, Great Dane. You're right. Thank you, Captain. Please join Patreon, you guys. You'll love it. If you feel like you want to join, come on over. If you join, then guess what? You and me, we get to talk on the phone, and we get to do special videos, and we have a Hangouts chat. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay. So first person we have is, so let me think. And the Facebook group too. Hey, Jordan, what are you doing, girl? I was just talking about you today to somebody. I was telling them that I was going to try and get a hold of you and see if you wanted to come on and share your story about you and the girls. Got Avalon, I got Cindy. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm a hideous dragon. Thanks, Captain. Love you. Yep, everybody's doing good, David. What about you, honey? Let's see. Hey, Nate. So here's the thing, you guys. We got 2 giveaway winners because we have a man and a woman winner. So, in fact, if you're in the chat tonight, you'll get entered, okay? Well, no, that's not fair. You, let me see. Hold on. Most of you guys have already entered. So this is the thing, Tony. All right. All right, cool. Let's see. Yes, Jordan, I would love to have you on, girl, to share your experience, strength, and hope. Good. Feeling a little weird. Just dropped another 5 milligrams, but hey, can't complain, and it's got to be expected. So let me tell you this. How do I enter? Angel, y'all, you literally have 1 minute to go over to the giveaway video and go enter really quick. Giveaway and a gripe. Go enter. All you got to do is comment on that video and say, leave your name, sobriety date, and how your life has changed since getting sober. Okay? All right. I'm going to get, I'm telling you, 1 minute, go over there, and then I'll come back and I'll write down the names. I got all y'all's names so far. Man, Cindy, that's sweet of you, girl. You're so sweet. So, what was I saying? Okay. So, Jordan. Oh, David. So David's dropped 5 milligrams. What's up, Santana? Oh, thanks, Amy. So, David, I'm down to 4 milligrams on my Suboxone now. Can you believe it? I just went down yesterday. So today is my first day on 4 milligrams, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I can tell because I don't have that. I just can tell. I feel like kind of yawny. Do you know what I'm saying? Yay! I'm so glad you guys are all here. I know, Bethany, can you believe it? I don't know if you guys were here yesterday. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our codependency meeting tonight. I know, I really want to get to a point where you guys feel comfortable calling in, but I know it can be kind of, nerve-wracking, and I just want you guys to know that if you do call in and you feel like you don't want to say who you are or you want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. Sometimes it just feels good to be able, good job, Jordan, I got you. Sometimes it just feels good to be able to share, you know? And so don't ever be worried about me thinking, oh, God, like you guys, I love all of you, and I just want to be here to support you. I want you guys to know that what I'm doing here on my channel, it's legit. I want to support you. I want to help you stay sober. You know, um, I want you guys to succeed in your recovery. Okay, that's what I want from you guys. I you don't have to give, I don't need anything from you guys. The only thing I want from you guys is to succeed in your sobriety. And then I want you to come back and I want you to tell me about how you stayed sober. And if you want to, I want you to come on here and tell us all about how you did it. That's what I want. Okay? I don't want anything from you. I just want you guys to stay sober. And you might hate me right now. I might piss you off, but I can guarantee it. In 6 months, once your ass is sobered up and you're feeling great, you'll come back. You'll come back and you'll be like, girl, you were right. Thank you. It happens every time, just so you know. Because I love you guys. And a lot of the times when I say stuff, you guys, it's not because I'm mad at you. It's not because I want to be right. It's because I'm trying to help you. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help you to see, these changes need to be made. You know, if I'm telling you, you got to get out of that relationship, or I'm telling you, just call me when you're ready. Right, Bethany? Tell them. Bethany will tell y'all, I'm not gonna hunt you down, but I'll reach out to you and I'll say, I'm here whenever you're ready. Just call me, and it's not because I want anything more than to help you. I don't want you guys, listen, I don't want y'all to die. You don't have to die. That's the thing about it. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand that this is serious. This is life and death, y'all. And that's why I worry. That's why I worry, because I worry about you guys dying. I don't want to lose y'all. I've lost a lot of people in my life to addiction, and a lot of people that I used to have on my channel that would be here every day. They're gone. I don't know where they're at. They could be dead for all I know. Let me get a hat. Nate? Hey, Nate. Nate? I need Nate to come here. Okay. We're just going to fold them once, put them in the hat. You know it, Santana, and I can't wait to have you on because it's going to be exciting. Santana and me talked, yes, you, on Instagram yesterday, and I'm excited. Yes.
So awesome. I love
Okay, so we got how many men? Only 2 guys entered, so that's good. Well, hey, what's up, Woke? Okay, you ready, buddy? Okay, I need you to pick a name. Don't look. Just stick your hand in there and pick one. One piece of paper. Yes. Just one. Oh, hold on. Now they're all falling. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get them back in there.
What's wrong?
They fell out. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to pick, I don't know. Let's see what it is.
Oh, God. Okay, the first winner is, are you guys ready? Drum roll, please. Cindy Moore.
I knew it was Cindy.
Now the next one. Cindy Moore. Okay, now we got 2 guys.
I'm just playing my game. That's really cool.
Now you gotta, so we got 2 guys that are in here, you guys.
Can I pick one again?
It's between Tony and Landon. Tony and Landon, come over here. Pick another name.
It's not holding something.
Hey, come over here. Pick another name. All right.
Okay.
Got it?
I'm about to die.
Okay, drum roll, please. Oh, sorry. Landon, you won the guy's gift. So Landon, where's Cindy's name at? So I could put it up. Oh, there you are.
Landon and Cindy won.
Landon and Cindy, you guys, just so you know. Landon and Cindy.
I just got a new level up.
Yay! Go, Nate. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for your services. Good job.
No, look.
Hey, Nate, can I ask you a question?
What?
Will you tell everybody 3 things that you're grateful for? 3 things you're grateful for. Good.
I'm grateful for myself.
Yourself. What else?
You, Daddy, and
me and Daddy. And what else?
Our house.
Our house. What else?
And my video game.
And your video games. Good job. Say, keep an attitude of gratitude.
Did you just steal my spot?
This is my spot. All right. So, teaching them early, you
I'm
guys.
eating candy.
And have been exposed to other drugs.
I get the life over here.
So, Nate is thankful for his mom and his dad, his video games, and his house.
Because look at his video games. Look.
Having an attitude of gratitude. So I'm trying to teach Nate that early, because when I was young and I was growing up, you guys, I was a little bit spoiled because my dad and my mom, my dad was at work all the time, so he'd buy me and my sisters a lot of stuff. And so I got accustomed to like getting Nintendos and stuff like that when I was his age, really young. So I'm trying to teach him that, having gratitude for the things that we have, because not everyone has those things. Not everyone is able to, you know, live in a home and have money for Christmas. So, okay, so Cindy Moore and Landon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to call. I'll message Landon on Instagram, and then I need to get Cindy.
I want to show them my new game.
Okay, go ahead.
No, they can't see from all the way over here.
Hey, I love you.
What? It's frozen.
It's okay.
Level 1.
Hey, Dave. What's up, Bubba? Hey,
no,
Hearts.
It's open.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm waiting until it loads in. I'm loaded in. Come on.
Hey. Remember, I'm not supposed to have kids on my channel, so I love you.
Why did you just say you could have a kid in the channel?
It's okay. It's okay. I love you. Give me a kiss. Okay.
You're weird.
Now I'm weird because I love him so much. Hey, Dave. What's up? Hey, Amy. Oh, Amy's been here. He's going to be a YouTuber. Girl.
I make my decision. Whoever I said their name, they have to.
Cindy and Landon. Say congratulations.
I just made something.
Okay. All right, so what do y'all want to talk about before I go? We've been on for an hour, but we can stay just a little bit longer. So now that we got the giveaway winners, here's what I'm going to do for the next giveaway, okay, guys? So for Christmas, for the month of December, hey, Adam, what's up, babe? For the month of December, you guys, I want to have, I really want to do a special giveaway. I want to go out and I want to get, I'm trying to think of something that I can get just one person, and I want to do it it'll have to be a unisex gift. Would you guys get excited about a gift card, or would you guys get excited about, hey, Robert. Okay, so the woman won a eyeshadow palette by Pat McGrath Labs, and the man won a leather wallet by Her Opiate Fix. So maybe next time we can do a gift card, and you know what I'm saying? Or remember how I was telling you guys about wanting to do those tie-dyed hoodies? So this weekend, I'm going to get the tie-dyed stuff in a white hoodie, and I'm going to practice and see how it comes out. Maybe in December, we can do a giveaway for one of those tie-dyed hoodies made by me and a gift card. Would that be cool? I think that would be cool. Hey, winning is just fun. And the only thing that you have to do to enter these giveaways, you guys, is whenever I post the giveaway video, the only thing I want you to do is in the comment section below that video is tell people how your life has changed since getting sober. And if you're not sober, I want you to comment how you hope your life will change. And the reason I'm doing the giveaways is because I want to show other people that in the comment section, when they come to that video, they'll see maybe somebody's struggling. Hey, Bella. And they see, hey, this person got sober and this is how their life changed. Do you know what I'm saying? I know for me that what's up, Zabe? Ask away, baby. Ask away. Dave, and the hoodies, I was telling you guys, let me show you what I'm talking about, because I really, 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 I am obsessed with tie-dye. I think I have 7 or 8 shirts that are tie-dye and one beautiful tie-dyed hoodie. So let me show you what I'm talking about. My friend, let's see. My friend owns an Etsy shop, and he does amazing tie-dyes. So let me show you. Thanks, you guys. Please give the video a like. Okay, let me show you these beautiful tie-dyes, you guys. Okay, so that's one. And his website's called Ozark Custom Colors. I mean, he does hoodies, he does all kinds of stuff, but like own design hoodies. Yes, like I will do them. So everyone will be different. Would you guys like me? Listen, and then my mom, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love tie-dye. So my mom said that what she would do, because my mom is a seamstress, okay? She just got a beautiful new sewing machine. So I'm recovering from meth. Why won't the doctor approve Vyvanse, which is like Adderall? Like I could really use a legal stimulant right about now. I know that's the truth, Zabe. I know that's the truth. I'm a methamphetamine addict also. I shot methamphetamine for over 10 years. And the reason why your doctor will not let you get Vyvanse is because you'll become addicted to that. And basically what would happen is you would just be on Vyvanse legally. Does your doctor know that you are a methamphetamine addict? Because what will happen to you, Zabe, is it's going to trigger you to want to get meth. Okay? And because the Vyvanse is not going to be enough. And you're going to be like, this Vyvanse ain't shit. And then you're going to go out and you're going to relapse on the real thing. That's why your doctor won't give you Vyvanse, you know? Now, a lot of the times, I've been on methadone for 23 years. It's kept me out of prison. Robert, I'm so proud of you. Robert Gallegos. I can say that last name because I had a friend in high school with the last name. And listen, Zabe, sometimes I think if my doctor would just give me a prescription for Adipex, which is also a stimulant, and it helps a lot of women get on it to lose weight. And it's basically amphetamine, legal amphetamine. And but what it would do was it wouldn't be enough. And then I would search for more and I would eventually go get the dope. Yes, but how is that different from heroin treatment and Suboxone? Okay, so I figured you was going to ask that. So this is how I think it's different because with Suboxone, okay, Suboxone is a partial opioid agonist, all right? When a person who is a heroin addict or an opiate addict is going through withdrawal and they have been away from opiates for 24 hours, they get onto Suboxone, right? When they get onto Suboxone, they do not get high from the Suboxone. Okay, so with Vyvanse and methamphetamine, Vyvanse is going to give you that initial high. All right, for an opiate addict, Suboxone doesn't do that. Suboxone just fills the receptors enough to relieve the cravings. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it makes that is the difference. Vyvanse is not it's not designed to relieve your cravings for methamphetamines. Okay? It's not designed to be a medication to help with addiction. Suboxone, methadone, Vivitrol, Sublocade, they're all designed to help with the cravings of addiction, opiate addiction. You dig? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because Suboxone is a partial opioid agonist, it only gets on your receptor enough to where it saturates the receptor enough to where anything else that you would take, like another opiate, would not be able to get on that receptor. So it hits everything else off, right? The only thing that would override Suboxone is fentanyl. And the window between that is so small that you could overdose so easy. Okay. Oh, really? He did? About Vyvanse and methamphetamine or about methamphetamine? Because here's the thing, with Vyvanse, you're still getting that upper high. Do you know what I'm saying? Like seriously, y'all, I would tell you, I was on meth for many, 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 many years. And I feel like what happens with methamphetamine is you're always trying to get higher. I mean, that's how it was for me. And it was like I could never get I, it's like I got that one feeling that one time when I first started shooting it, and I didn't get that feeling very much afterward. I never did heroin, but I hear people sell Suboxone to get high or take it in addition to heroin. Can't it be misused if someone wants to do so? So yeah, actually, Bella, I don't know if they can take it with the heroin because I think what happens is if you take it in conjunction with heroin, it blocks the heroin. Like you can't feel the heroin. But if you're not taking your medication every single day, absolutely. There you can divert your medication. And if you don't take it every day like it's prescribed, let's say I took my dose today, right? And let's say today is Friday. Let's say I skip Saturday, I skip Sunday, I skip Monday, and I skip Tuesday. So about 4 days, maybe even longer than that. On that fifth day, when I take the Suboxone, all the Suboxone is out of my system now. So when I take it, my body has nothing in it. Then that's when a person can abuse Suboxone. But here's the thing, the only person you're hurting when you do that is yourself. Like my goal is to live my life in recovery and be sober and be happy and be able to come on here and have conversations with you guys to be in my right mind. If I was diverting my medication, when I would come on here, y'all would know it because I would be like this because it would knock me out. Because when a person goes completely cold turkey and stays off of it for like 5 or 6 days, right? And you take it and you're opiate naive, you have nothing in your system. That's what the way Suboxone is designed is for that ceiling effect. That's why when you take it every day as prescribed, you cannot get high from it. But there's always going to be people out there, you guys, that are going to misuse stuff, you know? I think everything can be overused. I had friends at school that were tripping on. Yes, yes, Santana. I had friends that would take, hey, Noxious, what's up? I didn't even see you come in. I had friends in high school that would take over the counter cough suppressants and they would take them in handfuls and they would trip. But if you don't have a habit, it can get you high. That's why people do it in prison. Yes, Megan, yes. So if you're opiate naive and you've never, like you're not an opiate addict and somebody just gave you a Suboxone, it would jack you up. It would knock your ass out. You would be so sick. You would be throwing up. Do you hear me? Sick as a dog. Can't people use it to stop withdrawals if they can't get heroin that day? Yes, Bella. Well, it doesn't stop withdrawals. You have to be going into withdrawal. So you cannot take Suboxone unless you've been off of opiates for 24 hours or longer. Because if you take it too close to the time that you used, it will make you sick as a dog. You will be throwing up all over the place. It's called precipitated withdrawal. Anytime you guys have any questions, please just ask me because that is what I'm here for. I'm always going to be 100% transparent with you guys. When I first got on Suboxone, I had been sober for about 25 days when I got on it. So I had nothing in my system. The reason I got on Suboxone is because when I got sober, I came out of treatment. A lot of you guys are new and I forget about this. Okay, so let me tell you the story. In July of 2015, my son was taken from me because I was on drugs. I was shooting meth and I was shooting Roxy's. Okay. The state came to my house. All right. And they said, hey, we need you to take a drug screen. So I drove up there, gave him a drug screen, and I failed for opiates and benzos. They came back to my house, drug tested my husband. He also failed for opiates and benzos. And that's when they decided that they were going to remove our son from our care. And our son went into foster care. Okay. The day my son went into foster care, I went into detox. All right. So I went into detox high on benzos and opiates. I went into detox and I came off the benzos and the opiates. And then I went straight into treatment for 30 days. While I was in treatment, the first 2 weeks I was there, I was sneaking Xanaxes in. they busted me. So the second 2 weeks I was in treatment, I was cold turkey withdrawing off of benzos, Xanax, Klonopin, Valium. When I came out of treatment, I had about 2 weeks sober, and my son was in foster care. I had to go to court once a month. I had to go to parenting classes. I had to find employment. It was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was afraid that I was going to relapse because every other time I had tried to get sober, I hadn't stayed sober. I had relapsed. So when I got out of treatment, my husband had already gotten put on Suboxone while I was in rehab. So when I came out, I didn't know what to do. So I met with my doctor, I met with my therapist, I met with my husband, I met with my parents, and that's when we decided that I would try to get on Suboxone also and see if it worked out for me. And if it didn't work out, I would just taper off of it and be done with it. Well, I got on Suboxone and I had nothing in my system for 2 weeks, so I'm 2 weeks sober, and I got on Suboxone. Now, because I had been an opiate addict, and I was a severe opiate addict, like I shot up heroin, I shot up Roxy's, I shot up Dilaudids, I shot up morphine, I shot up methamphetamine, cocaine, anything that would go into a needle. All right, I shot up every day. When I got put on Suboxone, it made me sleepy, and it just made me really drowsy, and it made my face itch. You know what I'm saying? And so, but that only lasted for about 3 days. And then I felt like a normal human being again. And that is how I got put on Suboxone. That was 4 years ago. Now, the first year I was on Suboxone, you guys, I struggled. I overtook my medicine because I thought, thanks, Bella. And listen, you guys, like I said, anytime you have questions, Zabe, that was a great question, you know? And I wonder if one day they don't make a medication that they can prescribe for people who are addicted to methamphetamine, because I'm sure that that would help a lot of people. I just don't think there's a medication made for it yet. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know for me, because I am a poly addict, I was addicted to multiple substances. I know for me that being on Suboxone doesn't provide that high that I got from opiates like Vyvanse, Adderall, or Adipex. It gives you that like speedy feeling. You know what I'm talking about? That stimulant feeling. If I was getting that feeling from Suboxone, I would never get off of it because it would be making me, I would be feeling that high, you know? But I've been on Suboxone for 4 years and I don't feel anything, you know? And so that's why I'm like, well, I'm doing so good. I feel strong in my recovery. I feel like I can do it without it. And so that's why I'm tapering. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so, but maybe one day they'll make a medication that is for methamphetamine addiction. I'm sure, you know, that would be a great idea because I believe in medically assisted treatment. I mean, obviously, that's why I share my story with you guys. And I share that with you guys because I want you to know that there's no shame in needing assistance in sobriety. Okay. There's nothing wrong with being on a medication that's helping you stay sober. Okay. This medication for me has been a godsend. For years, I relapsed. I struggled going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. From the time I was about 22, 23, I had figured out I was a drug addict and I knew I needed to get help, but I couldn't stay sober. I'm really struggling, but your channel is helping a lot. Hey, man, I'm always going to be here for you, Zabe, and I understand what it feels like. I know that methamphetamine addiction for me was psychologically fucked me, because for me, coming off of methamphetamine, I had no motivation. I didn't want to do anything. I was tired all the time, and I still, I want you to know something, Zabe. I still seek that feeling that I felt when I was getting high, that, you know, extra pep in my step, that speedy feeling. That's something that I'm constantly wish I had still, because that was why I used methamphetamine, because it gave me energy and it made me feel like I was superwoman, you know? And so I understand. I'm going to tell you what I do now, and it helps me to get up in the mornings and get myself going. You know how a lot of people, I'll show you. I got a box of them. I get this box. It's called Stay Awake. All it is caffeine, but I don't drink coffee in the morning. So instead of drinking like 2 cups of coffee, I take 200 milligram caffeine pills. All it is caffeine. You can get them at Walmart. And it's nothing like being high on methamphetamine, but it wakes me up. It's like drinking a coffee with an extra shot of espresso in it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that helps me to kind of like have a little bit more energy. But I'm going to tell you, coming off of methamphetamines and getting sober from methamphetamines, look at me. I was so skinny. Let me show y'all some stuff. When I was tweaking balls, I was skinny as hell. All right. Since getting sober, I have gained a whole nother person. All right. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I'd rather have this whole other person on me than be skeezed out like I used to be. Can you see that? That was me, high on methamphetamine. All right. Methamphetamine gave me so much energy and but it also, what it did was it robbed me of my sanity. I would stay up for so many days that I would go insane and I would start losing my mind. Don't you think that most of these supplements, or maybe those caffeine capsules you said, don't you think it is only a placebo effect? So, Santana, with caffeine, it could be, but it really is just straight caffeine. It's just like drinking a coffee. Now, I do know that, like, if you think that something's going to work for you, that your mind can almost produce that effect. You know what I'm saying? So, like, okay, for instance, since I've been tapering on my dose, today I only took 4 milligrams. Okay. So today I started feeling like kind of tired towards the end of the day. And I was thinking, oh my God, I have to do our meeting tonight. And I'm just so tired. It does, Bella. It does. But it's nothing like methamphetamine. You know what I mean? Um, they're not. I actually overdosed 1 caffeine pills when I was 13 or so. Girl, yes, we are healthy and we're happy and we have our minds. When you're out there and you're strung out on methamphetamine, you guys, sorry, I meant to put gain weight. Hey girl, it's okay. I It makes you lose your sanity. It makes you lose touch with reality. Absolutely not. My thing was crack. Bella girl, been there, done that. Let me tell you a story. So when me and my husband, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but it was probably a year before we got pregnant with my son. So it was like 2013. We were living in an apartment in this high-rise building, okay? And it was a 1 bedroom efficiency. And inside this 1 bedroom efficiency, we had a mattress on the ground, a screen TV on the wall, and just like clothes strewn everywhere. And every night I would go and I would work at this restaurant down the street. And it was a really poppin' restaurant, like it was a bar and grill. And on the weekends, I would make like $300 Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, $300 each night. And each night I would come home and I would meet this old guy named Joe at the bottom of my stairwell, and we would go buy crack. Girl, I used to buy so much crack. I spent my whole paycheck on crack, and I would smoke it all night long. And a lot of the times, I would inject it, and break it down and inject it. Oh, Lord, make me go insane. So, Bella, just imagine that feeling that you got from smoking crack times 1,000. That's what methamphetamine is like. It is so strong that you wouldn't even need to take another hit because the methamphetamine is like, pow, and it lasts. You can take 1 hit of methamphetamine and be high for 3 days. Hey, Layla. I'm glad you're here. So it's like basically methamphetamine is like white people's crack. Okay. And it's basically literally cheaper and lasts longer. So when I realized, because I had tried crack before and I had tried meth before, and that's why I always use meth because it lasted so much longer. I mean, there was one time, you guys, that story I told y'all about on Josh's channel, I had been up for like 7 days. Okay, 7 days. Hey, Layla, I'm glad you're here, girl. Love you. For real. For real. I'm just telling you guys, like, it's all to change the way we feel. So let me get back to recovery. Let me tell you, the reason why we use crack, we use cocaine, we use methamphetamine, we use heroin, we use pills, we use alcohol. Guess why? Guess why? Because we want to change the way we feel on the inside. All right? So I want you guys to think right now. Yay, Great Dane! I was in and out of prison, stealing to get high, been on methadone. I live in a stable life, have my own refrigeration business. That is amazing. And I'm so proud of you, Robert. Keep on keeping on. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. The longest I stayed up on it was 3 days, and I heard someone whisper my name when no one was there. Girl, I've talked to myself before. To get rid of our feelings and out of our own skin. Exactly. Okay. So a lot of the times, it might start out that you just like maybe you were hanging out with somebody and they were using and you tried it, right? That's what kind of gets that gets the light bulb on in our heads that says, "Ooh, this makes me feel good. This I like feeling differently," right? That's how it all begins. That we enjoy the way it makes us feel. Did you know that the disease of addiction, it's inside of you before you ever pick up a drink or a drug? All right? You're genetically predisposed. If you have family members who were addicts, it's in your genes. It can be genetically passed down to you. So the disease of addiction is in us before we ever pick up a drink or a drug. Then when we pick up a drink or a drug and we get that feeling, guess what it does? It sets that craving off inside of us, okay? So when you're first getting high, you can get high and you won't get high for 2 more months or 6 months or a year or something like that. But the more you start getting high closer to each other, that craving gets stronger and stronger and stronger. It's like a domino effect. I had crippling social fear and anxiety since I was born. You can imagine what a miracle I thought drugs were before they turned on me. Bella, absolutely. Okay, so you're like using crack, right? Because you can talk and you can hang out and you can be social and it's making you feel good, right? Until it stops. And that's what happens. Every person crosses that imaginary line where they go from, wow, this is great. I love drugs. They make me feel good. I can have fun. Look at me. I'm still working. I have a job. I'm making money and I'm doing drugs. And then they cross over this imaginary line to where they are losing their job, crashing their cars, cheating on their men, right? Stealing, cheating, lying, all kinds of stuff. That imaginary line, it's like different for every person though. But the one thing I can tell you is that if you're getting high, I promise you that eventually one day you will cross over that line because the disease of addiction is a progressive illness. It gets worse, never better. So the longer you stay using, the closer you're going to get to that bottom. But it's different for everybody, and it's kind of honestly, it's fascinating for me to hear you guys' different stories because where it took me from the time I was 17 when I first started getting high to the time I was 31, 32 to get sober, right? That, what, 12 years, 13 years? All right. That's how long my addiction was. And then I hear some of you guys that were addicted for twice that long and now you're sober. Or I hear some of you that were addicted. Oh, well, I was using for 5 years and then I got sober 2 years or 6 months. Or it's just so amazing to me to hear how different each person's experience with addiction has been. to connect to people, which I couldn't do. Then it stole my soul and everything else. Yeah, Bella. And I bet what happened was you were like having a great time. You were able to kick it, have parties, be around people. And then I bet at the bottom you were hiding in your closet, hitting the pipe all by yourself, huh? Scared out of your mind. Because I've totally been there. That's what methamphetamine and opiates did to me. Was I was having a great time. It was all a party until it wasn't, until I was hiding, peeping out the blinds, thinking that there was people there that weren't really there. There was a point in my life where I accused my husband of sleeping with other women in the bed beside me. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought there was another woman in the bed with us and he was fucking her because I was so high. That's what I thought was happening. Isn't that crazy? But I really believed it, you guys. I really, really believed it. And then we stopped being able to get that relief that we once got because what drugs and alcohol do is it produces a feeling of relief for us. So we have maybe it's social anxiety, maybe it's pain, maybe it's trauma, maybe it's grief or sadness, but that substance produces a relief from that for us, right? But the longer we stay on drugs, the more that it no longer blots out things. It no longer gives us the relief, from those feelings. And so I could talk to you guys all day long about the disease of addiction. I hadn't, honestly, I haven't really done a video about the disease in a long time since I have all you new people here, all the new subscribers. And so what we'll do okay, Daniel's coming on Monday. Tomorrow, I don't have anything planned for tomorrow. Carol had to reschedule her interview. So, if you guys want to, we'll do a special live stream tomorrow night all about the disease of addiction. All right. And I'll share with you guys how my disease progressed through the years and how all the things that have changed throughout my life. And I hope it'll help you guys, if you're struggling, see how your disease has done this to you. You know what I mean? It happens to so many people. Just know that you're not alone, that everybody, if you're struggling with addiction, it goes and it happens, right? It happens. But you can recover and you can get your life back and you don't have to live your life like that anymore. That's the beauty of recovery. All right? The beauty of recovery is that you don't have to live your life like that anymore. So, anyway, I love you guys and I hope you guys have a really, really, really good night. Cindy and Landon, congratulations on your winnings. I only used for 4 years. I surrendered quick after getting arrested. I was terrified and I knew I couldn't get high without stealing and breaking the law. Bella, listen to me. Only those were 4 years of hell, girl. I know they were, because 4 years on crack cocaine is like 8 years. Okay? Because crack is no joke. Girl, when I was smoking crack, I would do anything to get it. Anything. It was it sucks your soul out of your body. Okay? Like I totally know. So in crack years, that's like 8 years. So it honestly, it doesn't matter if you were in addiction for 6 months or 20 years. It's fucking terrible. And especially when you start realizing that, yo, I can't do this anymore. My life, I'm ruining my life, right? I'm so grateful that we all that are here right now have realized that we are worth recovery. We are worthy of living our lives in sobriety today. And man, I'm proud of each and every one of you. And like I was saying before, all I want you guys to do is I want you to get sober, I want you to stay sober, and I want you to come back and tell me about it. And if you're already there, I want you to tell me about it now. All right? So next giveaway will be the first week of December, so you guys be looking out for that. I will post a video for it. And like I said, tie-dyed hoodies and a gift card and I saw some of you guys saying the Real Talk Recovery logo. So what my mom was telling me was she could, you know how you can sew, what is it called? Oh gosh, not monogramming, but something like that. Real Talk Recovery right here. So it won't be real big, but it'll be big enough to where, or we can get your names down on them, and it'll be so professional, and it'll be tie-dye too. Thank you, Robert. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, baby. You a new member of the family. All right, you guys. Good night. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, and we will do we'll talk all about the disease of addiction, how it can progress, and what you can do to get sober and stay sober. All right? All right, you guys. Love y'all.